We've all seen speedruns of many different games. They come in different genres, lengths, and of course difficulties. However, it's a very special thing when a game can have so many different games and speedruns within it. I'm not talking about subcategories or minigames. I'm referring to Roblox. So let's take a look at the world record progression for the most popular Roblox speedrun, Ultimate Sonic RPG. Officially named Sonic Ultimate RPG, this game has strong roots in the speedrun community. With an average 80 players active at all times, this game on Roblox would be transformed from an RPG server to a speedrun with a single category. It began when Roblox users Maya's Oni-chan and Rinrin's Oni-chan logged onto the server and eventually sought after a goal of achieving the power of all 7 Chaos Emeralds. Doing so would allow their characters to achieve a super form. After hours of horrible platforming and glitches, the two reached their goal. But Maya's Oni-chan was not done. He began routing, finding the fastest path through all the emeralds and the prize the super form you received from them would lead you to. Interjack's notes. Or the book. With clever use of a death warp and the physics for unintended longer and higher jumps, Maya's Oni-chan's time, speedrun.com and Twitch username SmashMan64, seemed to be unbeatable. And it was. For 7 months, that is. A user by the name of Zomspat totally destroyed SmashMan64's run, with the use of a new strat homing hovering. This is performed by inputting a homing attack on the first or second frame of a boost input, but that wasn't the only difference in the run. You see, when SmashMan64 did his run, development on the Sonic Ultimate RPG server was paused, but when Zomspat did his, it had been resumed. It turns out that when development was resumed, all characters' natural boost speed was increased by a multiplier of 1.75. This boost speed increase meant two things. Obviously your character would go faster, but the death warp was also no longer necessary. It was much faster now to simply go towards the desert, then Station Square, and backtrack from there to the pyramids. Though Zomspat's time of 3 minutes 24 seconds was faster, it had some hiccups such as failing Sandhill Jump, and they were taken advantage of. Fast forward a mere 6 days and a new runner emerges, Rarg, a Super Mario Bros. 2 speedrunner, and she took the record from Zomspat convincingly. Bringing down the record to 3:09, her run was identical to Zomspat's, but with less hiccups. Her Sandhill Jump, for one, was a success, and just like that, there was a new record holder. This, however, is where it gets interesting again. The speed increase to the boost had an added 0.25 to it if your character had Roblox-equipped accessories or clothing, bringing the total multiplier to ×2. This was in since development on the server resumed, though nobody had noticed until Rarg's stylish run where her character was equipped with clothes. It's obvious what happened next. Zomspat retaliated with a new world record at 2:55, the first sub 3. His comment?
I was triggered by that girl's speed run.
This run used some new homing hovering strats in the volcano area and a few other places, coupled with a second try Sandhill Jump and excellent movement afterwards. Then, very similar to the last time, 2 days later, Rarg fired back with a similar but much cleaner run, claiming the new record at 2:50, only 5 seconds faster. The times were getting closer and closer, and everyone was beginning to wonder if there was any room left for optimization. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, the record was stolen by user Fondue with a time of 2:47. This run did have mistakes, but the movement around them was amazing, and homing hovering was all good, not to mention how fast the emeralds appeared in their inventory when they collected them. Fondue returned the very next day with a 2:38, a week later with a 2:34, both similar runs to his 2:47, but with much less mistakes. Almost a perfect run, besides some bonks. This seemed to be the end of the game, with Fondue reigning at the top of everyone, until he returned. SmashMan64, Maya's Oni-chan himself returned to the game, and what he did was amazing. First, let's take a look at the entire run. It's pretty short.
Troubles are they or what they see? Look around you, then you may realize all the creatures are with their lives. And I might know about future, but then you still control the past.
I'll try my best to explain what's going on here. Firstly, at the beginning here, your timer technically doesn't start until you make your first move, so when his mouse appears, that's when the timer begins. Next up, he performs the overload glitch. For this to work, he needs at least 6 players in the server, and one of them needs to have a giant character morph. This will force his character underneath the map, and into an incredibly glitchy state. From there, he needs to navigate to a very specific part on the map and kill himself. The time after this death is very important. He has about 4 to 5 seconds to enter in variables into the not-so-visible chat box, courtesy of the overload glitch. These variables will determine where he spawns and what state he's in when he spawns. The variables he wants, of course, are as close to Interjack's notes as possible, and with all 7 emeralds in super form. While not exactly a good location, this is the closest you can spawn to Interjack's notes. The game will be running at about 4 frames per second. This makes the clip back into bounds much more difficult, and he needs a speed of about 22 to 26 ticks to be successful. Despite it all, he does it, and with a time of about 32 seconds. And that's where the world record stands today for Roblox Ultimate Sonic RPG. There's no telling if anyone will ever come back to this game and try to take the record from Smashman 64, but if they do, it'll go down in history. Thanks for watching, and come back for the next one.